Hello and welcome to the first video in a series of videos where I'm going to be driving along the Norwegian coast looking for the most beautiful beaches I can find while sleeping in the car back here. I'm just about to leave Östersund now to go to the first beach. I'm just going to show you kind of what we're doing in this video and the videos that will follow this one. We're going to be driving all the way along the Norwegian coastline here. This is called Helgelandskysten. It's really beautiful. And then I'm actually going to skip Lofoten, which is up here. I've been there plenty of times and I've seen a lot of Lofoten, and it's usually, well, it's June now, so it's not super cramped with tourists and people going there, but it's starting. So I just want to avoid that altogether. And then we're going to continue up to Tromsø. And I have a bunch of beaches. I got a lot of tips here from locals. Then we're just going to keep driving along the coast, past Alta, and we're going to head towards Kirkenes. So that's the plan. I have 2.5 weeks to do it. Once we end up here, I'm just going to drive across Finland into Sweden and then all the way back to Östersund. So the last thing I'm going to do before I go is to rename the trip, reset it, and off we go to look for beautiful beaches in Norway. Thanks for joining me. I think you're going to enjoy it. I did a similar trip like 2 years ago. Then I went from Trondheim and all the way around the Norwegian coastline here, and I found so many beautiful beaches that I was just blown away, really, because I figured I might find some nice places and it'd be like, oh, you know, go to the beach and go swimming a bit. But it was just kind of, some of the places were really jaw-dropping, especially down here around Bergen, where there are plenty of nice beaches. So I can't recommend doing something like this enough. But let me tell you why I'm doing this. We have neighbors at our summer house, 2 brothers that are about 10 years older than me. And when I was a kid, I would go swimming there, and there's a bunch of seaweed and, you know, the stuff in the water that kind of tickles your feet. And I really didn't like it. And when I was a young kid, they were like, oh, it's a sea monster. There's plenty of sea monsters out there. And at times they would even actually swim over from their side of their dock and come and grab my legs under the water. That had me freaking out. So as a 34-year-old man, I still believe in sea monsters, sort of. So I don't really like to go swimming where I can't see the seafloor or where there is a lot of seaweed and stuff like that that tickles your feet. So 2 years ago, I just Googled the most beautiful beaches in Norway and I made that trip. And it was just such a gorgeous experience that I had to do it again. But also, of course, to stay away from the sea monsters. Here we are in the supercharger in Åfjord. So we arrived with 18%. We left Östersund with 85%. So we used 67% to go 334 kilometers with an average consumption of 155 watt-hours per kilometer. So the plan now is to go to Hosnasand, which is out there. Seems like we need, if we leave with 36, so we only need 18% to get there. But we're going to charge enough so we can camp overnight. I'm going to estimate like 1% an hour, because I'm not really sure how much consumption there is with camp mode in the Model Y, and we'll get into that later. We've been charging for about 20 minutes now. We're up to 66%. So I'm going to unplug and then we'll head on over, clean the windshield and go to the beach. There we go. Much better on the windscreen. 35 minutes to Hosnasand. So just the final little bit before I can go swimming. Woo! we're now at the Stockøya Beach Hotel, and Hosnasand is the beach. So I'm just gonna grab a sweater. I'm gonna walk around and see if there's a good place to park the car for the night and see what the water and everything looks like. So here it is, the Hosna beach. The car is parked over there by those buildings, and there is a hotel, a bar, a restaurant and stuff. It's a nice place, but for me, I typically try and find more private beaches, so to speak, or like that are not commercialized by a hotel or something. But over there we just have plain ocean. The water is clear. It's a bit hard to see against the light here, but it's safe from sea monsters. Or at least I could see them coming from some distance away. I haven't been cold swimming for quite a while, so it was a bit of some resistance getting into the water, but other than that it's fine, and I know it's just going to get better and better the longer I go on this trip. The body adjusts, and eventually I'm gonna truly enjoy it. This was more of a woo and in pretty quickly, and tried to sit down in the cold for a bit. This was nice, and just look at this view. So it's literally midnight, and this is how bright it is outside. I spent a lot of time getting the car ready because I hadn't tested anything in advance, not the window covers, not the mattress or anything. I think that's going to be it for this video, and then in the next part we'll go to the next beach. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video in the beach hunting series. I just forgot to mention that the car is at 58% now, so we'll see what the state of charge is in the morning. And good morning. It's 11:16, and the car only spent 8% for 11 hours, so that gives us a camp mode consumption of about 720-730 watts. So that's good to know that we pull about 0.7% per hour when camping. The temperature here last night was about 10-11 degrees. Anywho, this is going to be the end of the first video. Thanks for watching. I'm now going to plan my next stop and then start filming for part 2. See you there.